how do you feel about the post-scarcity world, Sargon?
I
Is it
think
going to
it's
be
gonna
the
be awful.
communist utopia that we think it's going to be?
No, I think it'd be terrible. I
Oh,
think I think we won't even recognize them as being the kind of people that we recognize as people.
how so?
Well, look at the mouse utopia experiment. The mice that literally just eat and groom themselves, the perfect ones,
Hmm.
they have no social interaction. I think that when we're in a post scarcity society, everyone will basically hate one another and it will cause the end of civilization.
Liberal individualism is on its deathbed. It had a good run, but it's time for the Enlightenment to come to a close. Liberal individualism will not survive on into the future. And in this video, I'm going to explain why. Now, there are several pessimistic reasons to believe that liberal individualism will fail. The most common one is that liberal individualism and market capitalism over time will destabilize the environment of Earth and lead to the downfall of civilization. Another pessimistic scenario is that as liberal individualist societies continue, that income inequality will grow more and more up until the point where it's intolerable, where people would rather live in an authoritarian dictatorship than in a market-based liberal democracy. However, in this video, I'm not going to be talking about these pessimistic scenarios. I believe that liberal individualism will inevitably end, even in an optimistic scenario. And let me explain why. So let's go ahead and assume that liberal individualism does not destroy the earth and does not lead to a situation where people end up revolting against their governments. If people are satisfied with their liberal individualistic governments, then why would liberal individualism ever come to an end? Well, the evidence is right in front of you. YouTube delivers you videos to watch that's based off an algorithm. That algorithm is a result of a massive amount of surveillance and spying that Google does on all of its customers. Based on the videos you watch, the Google searches you make, the things you do, Google is able to profile you. It knows what political beliefs you have, what things that you'd be interested in watching, what type of personality state you are. There's even been news stories about Facebook being able to tell the emotional state of the person browsing the website, just based on data. In the future, we're going to develop bigger and better algorithms that are based on increasing amounts of data. For example, in the future, there may be algorithms that take into context a lot more than just your Google search habits, but things like your genes, your personality type, your experiences, the income level of your family, where you're geographically located. As more and more data is developed and more algorithms are put into place, people are going to increasingly turn to algorithms to make decisions for them. And in a market-based economy, it would be foolish not to use these algorithms, assuming they're backed by enough data in order to make important decisions about your life. In the current times, we celebrate our liberal individualism. For example, when it comes to something like someone's sexuality, our society encourages the person to contemplate deeply about it and decide for themselves individually what their sexual orientation is. Are they gay or straight? It seems bizarre that maybe sometime in the future, rather than reflect on our own individual beliefs and feelings, that we might make a decision based on who we want to sleep with or marry based off an algorithm. But in the future, that's likely to be a possibility. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have a job where you work outside. You're a construction worker, for example. An algorithm tells you that you're more susceptible to skin cancer than most people. And based off that, your doctor recommends you quit your job and get some job indoors. Now, maybe you really like this job, and so you say no. You're going to continue to work as a construction worker, and you'll just take on the increased risk, take your chances. But what if the doctor told you that when he ran this algorithm on you, it also indicated that based on your genes and your personality type, that you're someone who is reckless when it comes to taking risks? Are you still going to keep your job at that point? In the future, the role of the individual, the idea that individual people's choices on how and what type of lives they want to live is going to end. People in the future will make their decisions not based on their individual preferences, feelings, and beliefs. Instead, people will make decisions based off algorithms created by big tech companies based off massive amounts of data gained from surveillance. People who choose to shun the algorithms to continue to be individuals will find themselves like someone trying to live today off the grid without electricity. They won't be able to do it. It'll be a situation where you as an individual will have to compete against data taken from billions of different individuals. In order to stay competitive in the liberal individualist society that you live in, you'll be forced to conform to what the algorithm tells you to do. Otherwise, you'll be hopelessly outcompeted. Now, the big tech companies and the people who run them, the people who create these algorithms, and the people who are able to manipulate them will have unbelievable amounts of power. The heads of these tech companies in the future will literally be godlike individuals. As they collect more and more data and create more and more accurate and useful algorithms, they'll come closer and closer to reaching a status that is nearly omnipotence. This is the optimistic future of liberal individualist societies. Through the advancement of technology and data collection, individuals will no longer make their own decision. And at that point, liberal individualism will be over and done with. If you like this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe.